How would you like to achieve your first million? And today we have Jake with us. He is a marketing expert joining from United States. So Jake, tell us, what are the 5 steps that you recommend entrepreneurs out there in order to achieve the first million?
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
Absolutely. Thank you, Harry, so much for having me. So, my first 5 steps to making your first million is number one, having a good offer, making sure you stand out in the market. We have something called a purple ocean offer, which is making sure you stand out and actually have something that's attractive. Number two is marketing and making sure that you're getting that offer in front of individuals. Number three is going to be sales. So once people are interested, you're able to sell those individuals into your product or service. Number four is fulfillment and making sure that you have a good product. And then lastly is operations and making sure the whole thing is automated and working smoothly. And if you can master those 5 things, you're on your way to your first million.
So tell us, Jake, why do you become an entrepreneur and what are the biggest challenge that you have faced as an entrepreneur?
Absolutely. So I became an entrepreneur way, way, way back in the day. I took my first step. I was in school for engineering. And I've always been the type of individual that likes to make things. I like to just create, I like to, do. And I was in school for engineering and realized very quickly that like I like the engineering, creative aspect of it, but I don't like all the back end, math and just all the like back end stuff that came with engineering. So I was like, okay, how do I take what I like to do and make it into a career? And I took a step into starting a prototyping company. From there, I was like, okay, like I started this thing. Why aren't customers coming to me? And I realized very quickly you need marketing. And I learned marketing. I was like, dang, I could do this for other people. It scratched that itch of being creative and creating different angles. And that was the first step that really got me into, what I currently do. But along the way, it's absolutely been a challenge, but it's really been challenge like the challenge of yourself and self mastery has been the biggest thing for me. There's external things you have, all this stuff along the way, leadership, hiring, firing, legal, all that stuff, client dealing with clients. But it really comes down to self mastery and how do you internalize the challenges that you face and how do you overcome them? And make yourself better so that everything else around you gets better, which is really what owning a business is. It's I set by example, and then that obviously impacts everything else, clients, team members, etc. So the biggest challenge has definitely been myself.
So what message do you have for entrepreneurs that they are product lovers, right? And they say, well, if I do a very good product, if I create a very good product, the people will come and they buy by itself, right? So first time entrepreneurs, they're very, they get emotional attached to the product. They want to make this product that's going to change the world. Where the second time entrepreneur, they are more sales and marketing oriented. They understand that the most important thing is how to get in front of that customer and evaluate what this customer really want to buy that product and in what form and how much you're willing to pay. And after, it would be easy to create a product and to allocate to this audience. So, what message do you have for the first time founders, entrepreneurs that they don't take sales and marketing seriously?
Absolutely. Yeah, so my first advice to those individuals is like congratulations that you took the first step because that's something that a lot of people don't take. But you absolutely need to, kind of internalize. And again, it's like your biggest challenge is yourself, that whatever you do first is most likely not going to work. You're not a Mark Zuckerberg. You're not one of these crazy people that are just going to make something and it just takes off. You're going to try something. It's not going to work. You're going to try something else. It's not going to work. And three or four or five, times into that, hopefully sooner than later, you will start to have some success. And there's this principle in entrepreneurship called the valley of despair, where it's like you're going up, everything's great, you learn a little bit, and then you start hitting this valley. And it's the people that get out of that valley and then go through it again and again and again. and can really master their emotions and kind of take that attachment to something and be able to give up that attachment to go try something else. Because you take what you learned is great. It was a learning lesson. Go and apply that to your next step. Maybe focus a little bit more on, the pain point that you're solving this time instead of you just thinking that it's a good market fit or something like that. And then, again, every single failure becomes a learning lesson. And as long as you continue to move forward and not get held back by your old mistakes, that's where you start to have success.
Jake, can you describe what you specialize and how can you help people with?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I specialize, I'd like to call myself a digital architect, which is basically helping individuals build businesses online. So it's exactly like what I mentioned before. It's how do you have a good offer? How do you actually analyze like what does the market look like? What do they actually want? How do you look at what's currently in the market? How do you stand out from that? How do you not be too unique? Because we all know that product that everybody was like, this is crazy. Nobody's going to buy this. It might be a good product, but it's too crazy. It's too unique. So how do you have this middle ground offer? And then everything from marketing, advertising, organic, content, lead generation, all that stuff, sales, fulfillment, operations. Again, those 5 steps is, literally what I've been doing the last 10 years and mastering from an online business perspective.
Making money online is easy. A lot of people make that statement without really understand that. And this is what everybody do. Yeah, everybody go and create a massive website, a website that it spend lots of money, and then what happened? Then nobody visit this website, and nobody understand what's even going on. Yeah. On the other hand, you have the websites like Google or Amazon, very simple website that they generate a lot of money online. So, what is really the secret? Because people said one thing I always share with people is one thing is having a website, completely different ball game is to have a website that makes money, or to have the
Yeah.
structure that has to be in place in order to make money. People think that with a good website only, that's it. They're gonna make money. So, is really that easy to become a millionaire online, or you do need to know what you're doing? It requires a lot of trial and error, and you have to have the whole process from the advertisement to the landing page to the product to the thank you page to the retargeting. Tell us a little bit more about that, Angie, so people, the entrepreneurs listen the broadcast have a clear idea if they want to make money online, what it's gonna take. I love it because making money online, you can measure everything and you can get until your last penny accounted, and you can do it from anywhere. So it has a lot of advantages. You can travel the world while you're having your online business. You can be selling any product. However, it's really that easy.
Yeah, and that's
Maybe
the
for you,
unfortunate.
huh?
Yeah, I mean, right? Like it's unfortunate because we hear all of these people and I like to say that they're selling shovels. It's the same people that back in the day were saying, "Hey, come buy a shovel and dig for gold because it's the gold rush," right? Same principle, and unfortunately the people are saying that it's easy are the ones selling you shovels. They're selling you programs on how to make money. They're not actually showing you or have ever, even taken like a legitimate business online and scaled it. And it's not hard to make money online, but it's not easy. There are, principles that you need to understand if, you're selling some kind of an e-commerce product or like a physical product. There's like guidelines and there's specific ways of like, are people actually searching for this product or am I trying to sell something that nobody wants and nobody's searching for? And you have to, kind of understand that. And then, okay, people are searching. How do I stand out? Do I have better pricing? Do I have, a better landing page? Do I have a better offer? All of that comes into play. And then how seamless is my backend? And goes for the same thing with services. Now, with services, it's a little bit different because there's very few people that are actually going and like in the buyer's pocket ready for services because of advertising, where now people are getting in front of people at the top of the funnel where they're just like, huh, maybe I do need somebody to run my ads. Facebook knows, Google knows, it's all the algorithms. And then now they're getting hit with thousands of ads And those people are the ones getting their business up front. So you, if you're selling a service, you're selling some kind of, coaching like that, you need to understand like, okay, I need to be marketing on Facebook, I need to be advertising, I need to be doing content, and then also analyze what is everybody else doing, how do I stand out, how do I have a better offer. So it's it's easy to make money online, but it's not easy at all. Like it's just like making, money in person and having a local business. There's principles, there's different things that you have to understand to be able to have success.
And then copywriting, things like that people the people don't even know that this kind of thing exists, and then you have to be able, when people read your landing page, actually to have a compelling story, compelling message, so they can trigger the emotion, and the clients can buy the product. um, a lot of science and a lot of knowledge goes into this. However, it was a story in our previous podcast that someone that was a business coach, that he shared here, that I think one of the client, it was a barber shop, right? And now I
Mhm.
think that he's teaching online about something about cutting the hair, or something, or training the people how to do things better,
Okay.
and the person have on top uh, one more stream of income that is actually bigger than the current local facility that they have. So could be in an online business a solution for a lot of local business, traditional business, that they are getting by with a lot of work, paying rent, paying electricity, paying a lot of overheads. Whether even if you have a restaurant and it's not working good, maybe if you teach the recipes that you're cooking at your restaurant online, you will find out that because it's less overhead, because you will find out that maybe you make more money because you have a bigger margin if you do online business, right?
True. Yep, absolutely.
So what can you what message, what can you share with entrepreneurs that they are listening to this podcast, that they have traditional businesses, and can you speak a little bit more about the what opportunity they can have online, and how the process work, if it's easy or not to implement it, and so on?
Absolutely. Yeah. So the biggest advice I could give to somebody that's more of a traditional business owner is 100% going to be think about if the internet never existed, think about what you have to do to get in front of individuals and get more customers. It's word of mouth, it's people seeing your business's logo, and it's doing, some kind of advertising, whether you're on the billboard of a baseball field or in a newspaper or something like that. You get eyeballs, word of mouth, people talking about you, and have a good reputation. It's the exact same thing online. It's just digital. So, we need to do some advertising. We need to be posting you out there on specific platforms. You need to make sure that you're present. And then also on top of that is, how can I then convert those eyeballs that I'm getting online into customers? And that's as simple as just giving them something for free. So again, like obviously not every business can do this, but if it's a haircut, it's like, hey, here's a 25%, off coupon for a haircut, or a golf course. Get a free round of golf, pay for your cart, it's extra. And if you can then take all of those digital eyeballs that you're getting, you're running ads, all that stuff, and then you get them in your business, and then it's the exact same way that you would take a normal customer and turn them into a lifelong customer, which is, having them come in, repeat customer, good customer service, like all of that kind of traditional way of, building a business. But the biggest thing is obviously treating online exactly how you treat in person, but then bridge the gap between online into in person with discounts, with call to actions, people booking appointments with you, like whatever that might be for your business. But if you have those two things, like you're good to go from a local business perspective.
Yeah, and if you take in consideration, I think that the people that really are millionaires and they're doing very well is the reason because they're combining the online with the physical world and vice versa. So you can actually make your customer acquisition process profitable. This is something that we do in our business, for example, that sometimes you need to educate the client, right? Because they don't even understand the product. And by educating the client, maybe you put the lesson online, you charge, I don't know, 97, 998, it depends on that course. And guess what happened? The client consume this course, learn more about what you're selling and what you have to offer, and then they are ready to buy because they do understand your product very well because they bought your courses. So basically, you make your customer acquisition process profitable, which is fantastic, right? Whether everybody's
Absolutely.
spending money to acquire clients, you're actually making that process profitable, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep.
Jake, so how people can find you, how this process work? I know that you do have experience and everything that we covered today. I know that you specialize on this. So how people can find you, how this process work?
Absolutely. Yeah. So just jakesetterlun.com. I have all my stuff on there, all of our links, all of our resources. And if you need anything from us, just contact us on there and we can get that over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And with that note, see you guys in our next episode of Unstoppable. How brave entrepreneurs like Jake break that wall and achieve the first million. Bye for now.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.